is two. I see the blue.
Oh, Jojo. What in the world?
Dreaming of you as
What?
I think to myself.
With the do-rag on.
Look like a gangster.
With the do-rag on.
I got hats too.
What? A was Gucci.
What's up, Michael Baldwin? Michael, thank you for the app. No cap. I meant to thank you, but that joint is insane, bro.
Yeah. You know,
that joint is loud.
I've been living my best life. No, let me stop.
My best life.
Just living life. But I'm here now. Isn't that what matters?
Y'all know
right?
what time it is.
I mean, you saw the title. We tried this yesterday, but you know, technology, right?
I think I'm gonna wear a hat this live.
Yes. Wait, I got a book a while ago. Are you talking to JoJo or are you talking to me? I'm not sure.
The book? I didn't get a book. I got a thing that teaches me how to play the guitar. I don't think it's a book. It has CDs in it. Is that a book?
I don't know.
I'm finna learn how to play guitar, for real.
I'm actually interested in seeing that. Good to see you too, Michael.
Money well.
Good to see you do. Jojo, do a standing backflip. I'll give you $1,000 on Monopoly. What in the world? What the heck? All right, let's get into it. Right? Because I don't have too much time.
Yeah, I did get the CDs. I'm going to learn how to play it.
Don't have too much time. But I wanted to talk about, I mean, y'all see the title and stuff. I see lots of different people talking about the topic of modern women. If y'all were here for the live last night, you saw what the title originally was. But I think, you know, YouTube had a little issue with that title. But I think I wanted to, like, start with modern women and dating and the future of marriage. I see so many...
Ooh, that's a big one.
Right. Because I see so many men talking about this topic. If you know, you know. Like, if you're in that space, you understand what's happening. But I don't see many women, you know, speaking on it. And I think it's important for women to speak on it because then you say, well, modern women are going to die alone. She's like, oh, no, why would you say something like that? Y'all know what it is, right?
It's kind of weird to really... It's such a complicated situation because in hindsight, you can't really... You can blame them, but you can't... It's really hard, bro. It's really complicated to me.
I think, like, I don't know. It's something there because it's like women don't really know that, you know, what they're doing right now is going to affect them in the future. But fact of the matter is, like, this is reality at this point. Like, you can't be out here, you know, posting whatever you want to post, enjoying your little hot girl summer, and then expecting to find, you know, Mr. Right, like your perfect man or whatever, with all of these crazy expectations. The expectations that women have for men are insane for the quality of women that are out there right now. It's crazy. It's crazy. And they don't match up. Like, it doesn't match up with the quality. And I think it's mainly because you post a picture, or a female posts a picture on Instagram, or she posts it on Twitter or wherever, and men are just like, yes, you look beautiful. You know, we can't say the word, but what's a different word for, you know, the S word?
Mimp.
Our mimps out there. That word. We got men out here hyping up women who don't deserve to be hyped up, right?
Ooh.
But we're not going to talk about that. Like, we're not going to talk about it, but like, men are hyping up women who don't deserve to be hyped up.
Okay, I'm going to give women the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to say, deep down, I don't genuinely believe they're intentionally leading themselves the wrong way.
And I agree. I think that they really don't believe it, because when you're living in a fairy tale of social media and you on here posting random pictures and you getting all these compliments that you don't deserve to get, that aren't really honest, then you start feeling a certain type of way. Like you start feeling yourself, you're like, I deserve this and I deserve that, when in reality you're a 3. But now you think you're an 8. But we're not gonna talk about that. Right?
It's just a lot that goes.
It's a lot that goes into it. I don't know.
This really is a lot.
I don't know. I wasn't even seeing any of this. Oh, thanks. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Right?
It's like,
or they'll die with their robot mates, right?
Their standards are, I don't know why. I don't know where these standards for men came from. Like, I think it's social media, like planning these lifestyles on social media. They're not real lifestyles, so you look at them like, oh yeah, I need a guy like that. Like, these guys don't exist. They're not real. It's a fake hyper reality.
Yeah, like you want a guy. Honestly, we list the qualities. I was listening to this podcast, and it was of this matchmaker, and she was talking about all of the qualities that a woman wants in a man, and then the qualities that a man wants in a woman. And when a woman was listing all the qualities that she wants in a man, he got to be over 6 feet, 6 feet or over. He has to make a certain amount. We all know about like the salary. He has to be super caring and loyal, and he has to be funny and all that, like all this stuff. Bro. And then a man, they were just like, okay, well, what does a man genuinely like? What does generally want from a woman? And then it's just like, oh, well, I just want somebody who's nice and who's fit and who looks good.
We do have standards. We do have standards, but it's like their standards are like I saw this one video. This lady was like, her husband has to like dogs. He can't be intimidated by her dog. He has to like desserts. He has to like hiking. He can't be too fit. He can't have 6-pack abs. I'm like, what are these standards? Like, they don't even make sense. Like it's build a man.
Honestly, build a man. Literally.
Personally, I don't think like, okay. Some standards I understand, like biologically you're destined to have some standards. Like, of course, you want a guy who makes more than you. You want a guy who's bigger than you. That's like, you can't, if you're a woman, you can't really control that. Like, those are your naturally given standards. But when you, like, explode them, you're like, oh, he got to be 6'5", NBA All-Star millionaire. He can't dunk in every game. He has to average 23 points. I'm like, what are you talking about?
It's unrealistic. And then you look at the girl who's naming these qualities. Now let's take a look at the girl who is naming these qualities. What does she look like? Is she like, what does she look like?
And it's like, are these standards for marriage or they're for like something else? Because we all know, like today's generation especially, we're not like, everyone doesn't date to marry. They're dating to like do other things, especially younger women, because younger women have more opportunities for that. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm not gonna say it, but come on now, we're all old enough to know what I'm talking about. Like, people don't always date for marriage. So when you list these standards, are they for that or are they for marriage? Because some of the standards listed have nothing to do with a good marriage.
Yeah.
Other than finances.
Yeah, and that's what I think is actually happening. Like, women will move.
Umara Uchiha's in here.
Women will move like they're for the streets, but then you ask them, what are you dating for? And they're like, oh, girl, I'm dating for marriage. But you're moving like you're for the streets. That's what's confusing, because it's not correlating at all. But then you get upset when somebody's like, all right, well, you're not moving like you want to be married. But then it turns into, well, I'm young. I'm trying to have fun. I'm supposed to be doing this right now. Like, my life's supposed to be lit right now. So you want to have fun, or are you trying to get married? Like, which one are you doing? Because you could have fun while trying to be married. It really just depends on what your idea of fun is. And I think that people have an issue with that because it comes off as like insensitive or judgmental, when in reality, it's just facts. Like, it makes sense from a logical, like, if a logical person, it makes sense. And when people are just like, all right, well, women say, I make over $100,000 So I should have a man that makes over $100,000. And men, it's not judged the same way. Like men don't say, okay, well, she makes a whole bunch of money and I make a whole bunch of money, so we should be together. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like
I'm gonna
that.
be 100. Like, of course, like the standards from a logical perspective, they don't make sense. But I'm gonna be 100. For a lot of guys in today's generation, it gets kind of discouraging because let's say you're a man and you like work like you're just you're an average guy. You work in 9 to 5 or an 8 to 4, and you make good money. You make around 50, 60,000 per year. You're a nice all around stand up guy. You go to the gym, you work out. Then you get on social media, and you're like, oh, you're 5'9". That's not tall enough. Oh, you don't make 6 figures. You're not rich enough.
How dare you talk to me?
Oh, you're not
under 6 figures.
I'm like, you're just an average guy. Like, wow, that's really discouraging. Like, that really would discourage guys. And this generation of guys who they love women, they just like they're kind of repulsed. Like, they're repulsed by their standards. So it's men who are turning their backs on women, and it's women who never even turn towards men. So it's like, just we're going different directions.
Yeah, we're going in completely different directions, which is why I feel like this has been brought up a few different times, but where is the future of marriage? What does that look like?
Yeah. And it sucks because it's not all women. But men, we think, or guys in general, we think in very logical ways. So when we see a majority of a person doing something, we assume it's all. So when we see finally a good woman, you're like, this can't be true. What's wrong with her?
Yeah, because there are a lot of good women out there, but I feel like they are, overshadowed by the not so great women out there. And then men see that and they're just like, yeah, this got to be fake. This ain't real. Like, there's no way that this is actually a thing that's happening. And am I single? No. I am not.
Yeah, it's just, and what women don't understand about men, if you want a man to make 6 figures, if you want this man to be super ripped and like just be the best attractive guy, you don't need to meet him at that mountaintop. By the time he gets there, he's already he's already been through his trials. What you don't understand is that you can help him get there. For example, if a guy's dating a girl or a woman, my mom did it for my father. If my mother didn't exist, my father wouldn't exist. She didn't meet him when he was making 6 figures or starting a YouTube with 200,000 subscribers. She met him in high school when it was both coming up, and she helped him get there. All you need is a good woman, and she can help the guy get there. But what women aren't understanding today is they want to meet you at the top of the mountain.
Yeah, and that's really that's the thing, because times are different. Like, there aren't many women nowadays who are going to sit right there and be like, I'm going to wait for you to, accomplish that goal or get to where you want to get, all this other stuff. Like, there aren't many women who are going to sit right there and wait for that, because fact of the matter is it's way easier for women to make quick money. Way easier for women to make quick money than men. Women could really just get online, get on, OF and show off their body and do whatever.
Yeah.
And make a couple bands in a night. Like, men can't really do it like that. And so when you're doing all this stuff, oh, thank you so much. I'm gonna read that. When you're doing all this extra stuff,
KC's in here. That's my man.
Thank you so much. When you're doing all this extra stuff to make money, and then you see a man who's like working a 9 to 5 or however many hours he's working his butt off and making as much as he's making, and then you look down on him because he's not making a couple bands from doing whatever you doing, then it's like, oh, you're not on my level. You don't deserve this. But you want somebody.
I'm gonna read this out. Thank you, KC, for the super chat. You're the man. No cap. It says, there's a belief that women are looking for money, but there's so much evidence that the majority of women find themselves going for the guy they are more emotionally excited with rather than money. I agree. I agree to an extent.
There's so much evidence that the majority of women find, that they are more emotionally excited with.
I think women in general, when they say they want a guy with 6 figures, I'm kind of going to mansplain this. What that basically means is that they want security. I don't think they truly
Yeah.
understand the extent of which it means to make six figures,
Yeah.
especially young girls. So that when they really say that, they're like, "Oh, I want security financially. I'm scared that if I lose my job, I'm gonna go broke. So I need a guy who I can count on financially." So when he says emotionally excited, I think you mean like emotionally connected with. Yeah, of course they're women. They need some type of they're not men. They can't just be like this forever. They need
Yeah.
something to do something. So yeah, they need both though.
Yeah, and like that is true. There are many women who could look at a man who's not really making any money and be like, well, he's a good guy. I love him and all this other stuff, and I'll stay with him and I'll stick with him and I'll protect him and
She stay broke forever though.
like you will do all of this stuff for him. But honestly, what ends up happening in those situations is you cater to this man and you provide for this man in hopes that he'll become more than what he is. Now let you stay with him for 8 years and he's still doing what he's doing, then it's no longer, yeah, I love him and I'm going to continue to provide for him. It's you going in with the hopes of changing him without him knowing that you're trying to change him. And then you get upset when you're just like, well, you've been sitting on my couch for 8 years now, and I was just really hoping that you'd go out and like you go like do something with your life. And he's just like, but I've been me. I've been doing this since we've been together. What?
Ace asked, but does she love him or the illusion of security? You gotta understand, bro. What do you mean by love? Because men and women love differently. So security is kind of a portion in a woman's love, romantically at least, unless you're her son or something. But like when it comes romantically, security is kind of in their love equation. Vanias, don't cap. You know it's the truth.
I think because if the man doesn't appear to be able to provide security, one thing that women do is that, you may create some type of fantasy in your head of him actually being that secure man in the future, even if he's not doing anything that shows that he'll be that person.
Yeah, he said, but I don't have six figures to break her. Oh. Can't
What?
I don't think you have to be rich to get it.
Yeah, I don't think you have to be rich at all.
But you have to be, okay, I'll say this. You have to be above average in at least one category of life.
Thank you, Garuda.
I think you have to be above average in at least one category of life.
What does that mean?
Like for a woman to get a guy, just like an average guy, she can just be average in everything. Like she don't have to be above average in anything if she just wants an average guy. But if you're a guy, you have to be at least, if you want to get an average woman, you have to be at least above average in looks, above average in height, above average in money, or above average personality. You have to be above average in one area.
Thank you, Whitney.
Dang.
Sex, food. Oh, I can't say that word. But YouTube is finicky. Food and not hitting a woman are literally the bare minimum things. Yeah, but like that's true.
Whitney's
Thank you, Whitney.
back. What's up, Whitney? Join the
Welcome.
Discord. Whitney, join the Discord.
Yes, we need you. But so I have a question about that though. Don't average men get average women? Like, isn't that a thing? Wow. Why are you looking at me like, what? Did I say something wrong? Like, isn't that a thing?
No.
What do you mean, no?
An average man is a 5 out of 5 in every category. If you're a man, you cannot be average in all categories. You can't be completely center average. You have to be above average in something if you're lacking in something.
What does that mean? Like, how do you even measure that?
What do you mean?
Are you average?
Like looks or like...
How would a guy sit right there and say, well, what are the categories? First off, like fit, what, money?
Fit, money, personality.
Personality, fit, money, personality, and height.
Yeah, you have to be above average in one of these.
So above average in height would be 6 feet and over.
If you're, let's say you're the average guy, you're not super funny, but you're kind of funny. You're just an average personality. You're 5, what's the average height? 5'10"? You have average money and an average physique. You're going to have a hard time getting women. You have to be above average in one of these 4 categories, at least, to get an average woman.
Why? That's my question though, because like why? Many women, okay, if we're talking about an average woman, you know that you're not just going to go out on the street and just every guy that you approach or you see a cute guy, he's just randomly making over six figures. I have friends who will date, that random SoundCloud rapper. No offense to any SoundCloud rappers, right? What's Gucci's sister? No offense to any SoundCloud rappers or nothing like that, but who will date a guy who's not making any money, like no money at all, just because he's cute or they're emotionally connected to him. Like, but he's not above average in anything.
You just said he was cute. That's above average looks. I'm saying you have to. I don't think I'm explaining.
Looks could be different for everybody, though. Oh, thank you, Casey. Let me read this.
Let me explain this better. If a man can only be lacking in one area. If he wants to get a woman, I'll say that.
That I don't agree with that. I don't.
One of these four areas, if he's lacking in more than one, he's gonna have a hard time.
All right, let me read this. KC, a lot of that emotional excitement derives from confidence. A truly confident man will, by default, make a decent living. A confident man who is secure with himself will not depend on the woman. That is true. That's true. But I think a lot of, many men, don't really have that confidence.
A completely average dude in today's world, I'm not gonna make a sweeping generalization because all women aren't like this, but I'm just speaking for the majority. If you're average in everything, you have to boss up in at least one area of life
to get an average woman.
Yes.
Okay, so an average woman meaning a woman, if we were rating women, a woman of 5 and above.
5 or 6.
To get a 5 or a 6 and above.
You have to be above average in at least one area.
Or you get below average women?
Yes.
I don't know.
Average, I don't know what. I think it's the social media that's really pushing that narrative. All women want one type of guy.
That's true.
That's universally true. So if you're just an average guy, a woman is going to look down on you. Even if you make more money than her, you're in better shape than her, you're taller. Even if you are better than her in everything, you have to be way better in something.
Okay. All right, I could see that. I could actually see that. All right. Either way, though, I think... All right, maybe that is what it is. I'm not on social media. I don't really... I don't know. But in my mind, I'm thinking, well, if you're an average woman, then you should you should be getting an average man.
You should be, but that's not what you want. That's not what you... I'm not even gonna say it. That's not what you think you're entitled to. They genuinely think they deserve something higher.
I don't know, JoJo. I don't know. I'm not sure.
This is kind of basic hypergamy though, but just exploded to a different level. Because women naturally date guys who they deem as higher, but now it's like the average guy has to be way higher in at least a category. Like at first it was like, okay, he makes 10,000 more to me. That's good enough. Nope. You gotta make 30,000 more to me, bro, or you're not good enough.
So, okay, here's another question. Why do you think that women don't understand why making a certain amount of money doesn't equal getting a high value man?
Why don't they understand it? Well, let me look from a woman's perspective.
I mean, from my perspective, as a female, it makes a lot of sense because it seems like, from what I'm hearing, women are saying, okay, well, if I'm making this amount of money, then I should get a man who's making this amount of money. But men are saying, no, we don't care about, if we are making this amount of money, we don't care how much money you're making. We just care if you look good or, you're fit and you're nice and agreeable.
I think that specific thing goes into two things. One is their natural desire for a guy who's above them, and one is the society lying to them, telling them they're on the right track for a man. Because if you think about it, what's the biggest agenda that's pushed when it comes to relationships? Super couples.
Super couples? Like social media couples?
Yeah, I'm saying in education. He's like, oh, he's a lawyer, she's a doctor.
Or
these super successful couples who boss up together and challenge each other. That's kind of pushed in a way, and women like they think that's what a relationship is, that a man wants to be challenged by his wife, and they also are hypergamous by nature. So they when they get to that level, deep down they want a guy who makes more than them, and they also been lied to that super couples are kind of real. So they go in
Yeah,
together.
so then they go in with the mindset of like we're just gonna be this power couple and we're gonna have this like whole thing going and all this other. I see that. I can see that. I don't know. It's just not. Garuda, I am. Oh, you're drunk. I'm a 4 based on beauty standards. I still have it. I mean, okay. Oh, wow. Dang. Don't be so hard on yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself. I mean, it is what it is. I don't know.
For real though, a lot of these girls have like really, actually no, not gonna say that. I'm just gonna say if you're kind of like a jerk, you don't need to be above average in anything. Just be a jerk.
That's true. For some reason, females love mean guys. When I was listening to another podcast,
I honestly
I don't.
But now you gonna have to say something.
Okay,
'Cause I
all
don't
right.
know.
I'll comment on that. I'll comment on why I think that's the case.
Ace.
But as I said, I was listening to another podcast, and then this girl was an Instagram model, and he was like, the guy who was running the podcast, he said, so how could a guy successfully get through to you in your DMs? And she said, she gets a whole bunch of DMs from so many people, but the one person throughout the month that she responded to went into her DMs and said, you're not that cute. I don't see the hype. That's the one that she responded to. And she responded to the DM and she was just like, who do you think you are? Why would you come to why would you come here saying that, whatever? And then he goes and spits game and he gets her. All these guys are saying you're beautiful, you're gorgeous, I want to wife you, I want to all this other stuff.
That's self-esteem issues. That's self-esteem issues, bro. I don't care what nobody says, like, oh, he's more masculine. Dude. No, that's deep down self-esteem issues.
Right, and all of the other girls, there were so many other girls there, and they're just like, yeah, wow, that was good. Wow. Okay, I would respond to that too. I know it's bad, but I would respond to that too. And then you sit right there and you listen to this and you're just like, wow, this is sad.
Bro, I understand that. Yeah, y'all are right too. Y'all are like right saying like he presented a challenge and he has to be better than her and he presented the illusion that he's better than her. I'm just saying that specific scenario, like, oh, I look at you, I don't see the hype. What if a man said that to you?
No good. That's not okay, but it's nothing that I'm gonna respond to.
He said Disney has brainwashed the minds of many women since they were children. Life isn't a fairy tale. Let's go deeper.
That is facts. Facts. You sit right there and you watch all these Disney movies, and many women will say, well, I went into this field, or I went into this major in college because that's what was pushed towards me as a child. That's what was pushed towards me. That's why I'm not making so much money. All of these excuses because so many things were pushed in your direction because of like all of these movies and what girls are supposed to do or whatever. And then you grow up and you complain about it and then demand something from a man because you weren't able to get that for yourself, like the amount of money that you're making, whatever. But you're not able to provide what they want. It's confusing. But fact of the matter is, like, women will sit right there and they'll watch all of these fantasy movies. You walk through the park, you run into your man, and then you feel these sparks in your body and you see this rainbow above your head, and then it's in the sky is written, he's the one. And every guy that you meet from that point on in real life, if he isn't giving you those sparks, and if you don't see that rainbow and you don't see he's the one written in the clouds, then he's not that person. It's a fantasy. And then you go throughout your life, you hit 60 and you're just like, dang, why am I still alone? But yikes, right? It's sad.
That is sad.
It's sad. It's sad, but then you bring this up to women. Why can women demand that you make all this money, but then a man say, well, I want you to lose a couple pounds. And you have a fit. That part though. Yikes. It is what it is. It's sad.
I'm not gonna lie. I have a hard time like completely blaming women, cause I think I said this before. I think God. I believe in God. I think God made men to be the leaders. So, like, if we really wanted to stop this, why can't we? Like, why can't we just stop simping so hard? Like, if we really wanted to change them, can't we? Like, just stop giving them validation and make them, not make them because we don't like, they're not slaves, but like kind of say we're not dealing with this.
Yeah, I mean, easier said than done. Easier said than done. I think men, it's very easy to see all of these great women on social, or all of these beautiful women on social media, and not want to comment on their pages or look at their, like, not give them that attention.
Yeah, I don't really use social media like that anymore. So, like,
But yeah, I mean, I understand the movement. And also, like, somebody commented, I don't remember, oh, Dylan, like, it shouldn't be all about the money, because a man could provide a lot.
oh, he's right. He said the problem is the media portrays masculinity as an issue. That's one thing I really noticed in the past 2 years. Like, they really attacked masculinity. And it's kind of ironic because a lot of women today are embodying masculine traits while simultaneously attacking masculinity. Like, it makes no sense, but it's happening.
It's everything that goes in their favor in the moment. Like, I want you to pay on the first date because you are a man, but also I'm in control of the relationship, and I'm the one that makes all of the decisions around here, and you're not going to tell me, like, your opinions really don't matter to me. But in this situation, you can be the man.
I honestly don't. I don't believe in toxic masculinity. I'm not gonna lie. What is that? I think it's toxic people who are men, and it's toxic people who are women. I don't believe in toxic masculinity. I'm not gonna count.
Yeah, I agree. And Tyler, I also agree with that too. You can look for a relationship, and you could want a relationship and not be a simp. Like,
Yeah.
you could.
If anything, toxic masculinity is the simps. They're the biggest toxically masculine people in the world. But like the way the media shares, oh, he's too much of a jerk. He's too mean. That's not toxic masculinity. That's just what men act like, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, dating nowadays, it just seems
Childish.
it seems like a crazy place out there. It seems really crazy out there, and I am interested in seeing what the future of marriage looks like. What the future of marriage looks like. I've never seen so many guys that are so young. JoJo is young, and the way that he talks about relationships and stuff, the way that, like, he talks about how females are carrying themselves, these things are being seen. And people think that it's okay for you to move like that because you're young and you're having fun, or you're a woman and you can do whatever you want, all this other stuff, and you can. But everybody has to know things come with consequences.
But now look at this. Hold up.
That's it. And I don't know.
Look at the top 8 list. The biggest cause of divorce.
Lack of commitment.
And then we was under it.
Infidelity.
What does that mean? Like, listen to this. If lack of commitment is number 1, how is infidelity number 2? Aren't they both the same thing? And then you click the article, like you're thinking lack of commitment is infidelity.
But one thing that I just thought about.
What?
Now I think we have more situationships. I've heard about more situationships in talking stages than I've heard of actual relationships.
You're right.
So if we're talking about, like, the lack of commitment, we can talk about, like, the situationships or the talking stage.
Yeah.
But I think that means something different to men. Lack of commitment, even though some would say that marriage is the ultimate commitment. 75% of people. Wow.
That's the number one cause of divorce. You think you lose romantic feelings for him is the number one cause.
That's crazy. I don't know. I think it's really just people getting into relationships and staying in them. But when it comes to the talking stage, it sounds like men and women see that very different. I don't hear many men talk about, yeah, I'm in a talking stage with her. Yeah, we're in a situationship. I don't hear men talk about that. But I do hear many women talk about being in a talking stage or a situationship, and they see that as, now this is commitment. The talking stage or a situationship is commitment to you, but to a man, that's not commitment. He's not in a relationship. So it's one-sided cheating. Like, to her, you're cheating on her, but to you, you're single.
What is it? What do y'all comment? What y'all think like the main problem with the talking stage is? I really want to hear like y'all perspective. Cause I say a lot, but I actually want to hear from y'all.
I don't know.
Like the talking stage to me, I'm gonna say from a guy's perspective, basically that means you're just one of his people that he hits up when he wants to do stuff. He doesn't like you. He doesn't like you. He doesn't like you. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna be 100. If you're in a talking stage with a guy, he does not like you. If a guy really likes you, he's not even gonna like risk that. He's gonna try to date you. He's going to try to date you, not try to have sex with you. Date. That's it.
Yeah.
Like y'all make it more complicated than it is, but I'm speaking from a guy's perspective.
Yeah. It seems like a lot. It seems like a lot going on, and it would be cool to get you guys' opinions too. As I said, like, I am not single, but this stuff is interesting to me. I hear a lot of conversations about dating. I listen to a lot of podcasts about what I guess women are going through now in the world, accidentally. I mean, I don't know. It's so talking stage equals lying stage. How is he gonna try to date you by talking?
Okay, the talking stage lasts longer than a month. I think you should know when a guy is really pursuing you. But of course, every relationship needs a talking stage, like for a while, but it shouldn't last that long.
We have talking stages now that last for years. What are you talking about? What in the world are you talking about? That's so great. That is lasting that long. And you are still not in a relationship. Whitney! Thank you, Whitney. One of the main issues in the talking stage is people putting on a facade and being so far from genuine that the other person doesn't know who you really are. Because you put on a face. Thank you, Whitney. Everybody, we can't lie and say, like, on the first date, you, like, put on your best self, right? But after a while...
I'm going to be real toxic here. If a girl likes you, she's going to put on the face for you. All you got to do is participate.
A girl won't put on a face for that long, though.
She'll put on the face. She'll put on your face. If a girl... Think about your friends. They'd be talking about this guy. Like, he's like, oh, he breathed at me. Oh, he looked at me this way. Does that mean he wants me? They're putting on a face for him. They're making this fake scenario in their head. Romanticizing this guy who barely likes them. He's probably just there. Like, he probably not showing no game. Like, oh, yeah, I'll see you today. They're putting on a face for him. They're masking him up for them. So he fits into their narrative.
Yeah, but, I mean, I don't know. Garuda Legends. Thank you, Garuda. No problem. I will always try to find a woman who loves me for my personality rather than my looks and bankroll. As you should. As you should. Like, I mean, if money is what got her there, then money will make her leave. If you got money and that's what got her there, then the next guy with more money will get her to him. And that's it. So if she isn't really there for you, then she's not going to be there for long. Because it's really not, from what is happening out there, it's not difficult for women to stray so easily. There's so many options out there, which is why women think that they use Tinder or whatever and they'll just get on there and find a boyfriend, when many guys are just on there for one thing. Yeah. But women are on there for relationships and stuff. There are so many options in the world
I
that
feel bad for a lot of women.
yeah, I mean, I feel
No,
bad for the women who are actually looking for something
no,
serious.
even the ones who are like leading themselves astray because
If you're a woman and you make 200K, it's in your natural biology to want a guy who makes at least 200K. Like you that's your natural urge, like to want a guy who's above you. So like, in order to like date a guy who doesn't make that, you're gonna have to go against that. Even though you probably led yourself astray your whole life, eventually you're gonna have to go against your own urges and follow it through. And I kind of feel bad.
It's life. It's rough out there from what it looks like. It's real rough. So I don't know. Not really sure what to say about that. I mean, we're gonna wrap it up here. We'll talk more, a different time. But thank you guys for coming out.
Wait, what do y'all
For
want
the
the next?
chat?
What do y'all want the next topic to be?
I know. What should we talk about next instead of?
And make sure y'all join the Discord, bro. We go live.
Yeah,
all the
that's
time.
exactly where I'm about to go. Actually, to the Discord. Casey, thank you, Casey.
Oh, yeah,
the people
Casey.
that dominate social media isn't representative of the majority of relationships today. Social media has had a negative effect on dating.
Casey, just talk about this in the Discord, bro. You don't gotta donate to say something.
Yeah, thank you, Casey. We really appreciate it. When it's women that have money, they want men with money only.
Yeah, 'cause
Exactly.
they're
That's what we
kinda-
talked about.
They're embodying like halfway. They're embodying just the masculine traits that benefit them and the feminine traits that benefit them. And I think that's the biggest divide. Men don't really have that privilege. We have to either be masculine or you're feminine. So we can't go half and half like a lot of women. And when a lot of women go half and half and they wonder why they don't get the results they want, it's because you're going halfway masculine and halfway feminine. But yeah, wrap this up. Comment with topics y'all want to see next time. And join the Discord. Because we be going in there all the time. We're going in there tonight, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you guys for coming out.
Y'all didn't
Yes,
really
y'all.
comment any topics, but it's whatever.
Right. I mean, I'll post the video. Y'all can comment under the video. Later, guys. Oh, no. Later, friends. Haha.